Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
National Odometer Day. People were sending in, they were texting in their odometers. And somebody wants to know what yours is.
About 200,000 miles.
For real?
Yeah, there's some highway miles out there.
But really, 200,000? What year is your vehicle?
Oh,
it's not.
I thought you were talking about me, like my body. I thought that's what we were talking about.
We did get into that, too.
I thought you were asking how many miles was on me. I am the Chevy Chevelle.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Washington is the single setback, takes the handoff, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for 2, gets down to the 7. There's a scrum down there. Memphis says the ball's out.
We didn't want to score, but we had to get another first down. Oh, we didn't have to, but you want to leave 50 seconds on the clock for them? I don't.
Memphis says the ball came out. They're looking at it down there. Memphis celebrating as though they've recovered a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the runner fumbled the ball prior to being down by rule.
Mike feels terrible, and I hate it for him because he's been such a great player for us. He still is. He just happened to they jarred the ball loose from him.
Harrington Maiden has checked in. He's going to run an option on 3rd down. He'll get out across the 10. He's continuing to carry tacklers, and he's got the first down. Are you kidding me? They push the pile out across the 20-yard line. It's a first down.
Defensively, we were trying to fix some things from a week ago. I don't know how much we got fixed, to be honest with you, with a 500-yard day on us.
Lewis gets the snap, hands it to Smith, coming right side. He gets out across the 16 to the 17-yard line, and that's it. Ball game's over. Memphis celebrate. They've got some students rushing the field, and the Tigers are beating the Razorbacks.
We've got to get our confidence back defensively, and we've got to help them do that. Offensively, we're scoring 3 points in the second half. We got to get our confidence back there, too. And we got to show them that we're coaching them well enough to change that. So I like the team. I think we're going to be fine as far as being ready for Notre Dame. Obviously, we know they're a really good team.
Well, that's even worse than I thought, now that I listened to that. Boy, that ruined the weekend right there.
Well, a lot of rain this weekend.
Yeah, it was wet, too. Had a lot of rain. You're right. Wow. You hear that unfold, and it's like, man, what a brutal day.
That one just felt different.
Yeah, it really did.
It just kind of felt
There's no
like
way around it.
That's the, it had a finality to it that just felt like inexplicably 4 games into the season had ended. And other things have ended. You wonder if you're going to wake up on Sunday and people are going to have lost jobs. It had that kind of feeling. It had, in the aftermath of the game, the way people were reacting on the sideline. I think it was pretty visible, from Pitman to Hunter to others involved. I think there was shock and frustration, all built up into ultimate heartbreak and sadness. And I think Razorback fans were I know they were feeling that. It's the kind of game that even for the fan that doesn't get really emotionally involved every game, they're there, they're not happy if you lose. But it doesn't necessarily ruin their weekend. That one ruined a weekend for a lot of people and beyond.
No doubt. And it did have that kind of feel to it. There's no doubt. It sounds strange to say, but I'm glad they're playing Notre Dame this week because, there is the reality there, and everyone knows it, that if, you could get embarrassed if you're not ready to play. By the same token, after what happened on Saturday, they've got a tough job this week. They have a tough job, and it's it was just crushing. I don't really know how to describe it any other way. It was just a crushing loss.
I saw several things over the weekend after the game that included Arkansas and curse in the same sentence. And one of them was from Josh Pate. And he said, if you don't believe in curses, you're not watching Arkansas football the last 2 weeks. and maybe a little tongue-in-cheek there, but at the same time, it is inexplicable that you lose the game 2 weeks in a row at virtually the exact same time in the exact same way. Fumbling the ball with the offense feeling like it's moving to score to win the game. And the difference is now you're not the underdog at 6 o'clock or at that point 9 o'clock at night on the road in an incredibly hostile environment in the SEC. This is a team from the American Athletic Conference, and it is the middle of the day. And there's a giant hole in the stadium, and they can only get about 30,000 people in there.
And there weren't that many, I don't think.
And it's Memphis, the bordering town of Arkansas.
You know, the one thing that you don't want to get into in a game like that's what they got into in the fourth quarter. When even though it's not a huge crowd, it's a wild crowd. And they anticipate something's about to happen. And that's kind of what it was like in the stadium Saturday. It was not a big crowd. It was certainly not an SEC-type football crowd. I wouldn't even go so far as to call them a football-savvy crowd. But they knew their team was about to beat an SEC team, and they went nuts. And it got noisy, and it got a little crazy in there. And, boy, that's when you can lose, and that's what happened. And, you know, you think about how close Jaylen Brown was to the sideline against Ole Miss and how close Washington was to the ground, you know, when the ball came out on Saturday. That's how close you are. But it doesn't matter. I mean, when you lose those fumbles and you lose the game, it doesn't matter how close you are. And now you've just got to – I mean, here's the thing. And, look, we've been through situations like this before. This is not uncharted territory for us as Razorback fans. This thing's not going to stop. The season's not going to stop for us to decide what we want to do with our football program and how we want to proceed, and for us to argue about who ought to be the coach and who's the next guy and should we keep this guy and who ought to get fired, which I'm sure we'll do all day long today, probably all week long. But the season doesn't stop. I mean, you still got to play 8 more games. And, I mean, it can get really bad. We've been there before. By the same token, they've got a little bit more mature team than they've had at times. Maybe that'll serve them well this week. I don't know. I mean, to me, you know, as we discussed, I mean, you lose to Memphis, all bets are off. And that's kind of where we are today.
Yeah, and close doesn't cut it anymore.
It doesn't.
Close is a term that nobody ever wants to hear again.
No, and that's exactly right.
Almost win has never been more prevalent. I mean, it is just right
no,
there.
You're right.
And anybody who's ever felt like this doesn't work has every validation today to stand up and say, see, I told you. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot of that today. And I don't blame you. I mean, we'll just get right to it. There it is. That's the theme of the day. There it is. We're going to get a lot of that today. Yeah, it's happened. It has, there it is. It's just sitting right there, and it is what it is, and this is so frustrating. It's embarrassing for so many Razorback fans, and it's embarrassing for the coaches and the players. Make no mistake about that. But it's just not working. Whatever it is. Look, there's something off. There's just something off. I was watching the Chiefs yesterday. There's something not the same about the Chiefs. They talked about it for most of the telecasts. They end up winning the game, going away, but there's just something not right. Edward,
they're injured.
Chiefs fan is now. That's not.
Pat has nobody to throw to.
It goes deeper than that.
He missed Kelsey on a 4-yard pass from me to Bart that I've never seen ever happen before. Like he's just standing.
Well, Travis is old. He'll retire after the season.
It's Travis's fault.
But he has nobody competent to throw to.
The thing is, this is what losers do. They tell you why it's happening, but like at some point you get done talking about why it's happening and you win. And you get done talking about how close the games are and you win. And you definitely have to win a game in which you're a 7-point favorite. And everybody knows that. And, there's nowhere to go but to deal with it today. And we go to Arthur first, who I know is just, well, we just lost Arthur. Stephen in Russellville or Nashville. Stephen, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Reaction Monday. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'd like to first of all say I'm sorry for what y'all going to have to go through this week. Y'all going to catch hell probably.
Probably.
I didn't like the way he said we didn't coach good enough. If you want your players to give 100%, what do you mean coach good enough? Ain't you supposed to be coaching 100% also? I mean, are you just coaching just enough to barely get the win, or are you supposed to get out there and give 100% just like your players are? And that comment where he said we didn't coach good enough or well enough, like we're just trying to coach just enough to get by, really upset me. And I know we're probably going to lose Sam at the end of the year, but I'm cringe because of the last few coaches we had before him. And I've even seen on Arkansas Facebook pages where Gruden's the one. Gruden's not the one. He wasn't even that great of a coach. But I'm afraid they're going to pick him just because of popularity. Because I like Sam, but he's not doing his job good enough this year. And I know they're probably going to fire him, but wow, we're going to have to wait to see who we get. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll be another sports talk radio coaches search that'll be, another one for the ages. Arthur is now with us from Vermont after a no doubt excruciating weekend.
Well, I mean, I made money, but it didn't matter. It was gut wrenching, and it just gives credence to all the miserable, or people who enjoy being miserable and angry all the time. It's like, golly, this team, if it just had that killer instinct, it's not there. They just, when they get their foot on their throat, man, finish the job, and the head coach, he should have been like, before halftime, he should have been like, guys, take all the time. I know you can score. I know we got that much right now. And just milk that first half clock. You cannot trust this defense. Then they were worried about running clock, and of course they fumble. But, it's just, so when does basketball season start again? I mean, I look at a turnover-prone offense and a leak in a bad defense. I think Sorey's hurt. I think Sorey must be injured, and they have to, But number 3, I don't know his name, but I've never seen a safety at Arkansas who does more to avoid direct contact than this guy. He just always seems to be conveniently a few steps too late, or just like, oh man, I missed it. I have been watching that guy, and it's kind of like, come on, dude, like you got to bust through that block and get to that ball and not let him. But like I said, they don't finish off teams. They don't. It's just. I'm still a Razorback. I still want him to win, but man, you look at this schedule now, and it's like you see one game that really I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I think we got the gist of what he was saying.
Yeah, you've got a bad signal, but
it's a long way to Vermont.
We got we got most of it.
Yeah, I know what he means.
Larry Worth and the third and Xavier and Sorey don't look anything like they looked last year. Whatever it is, to me, they don't. And particularly Sorey, who was an All-SEC preseason caliber linebacker. I don't know what's going on there, but it's not just on them. I mean, the entire defense looks lost, tired, or uninspired, or all of the above at times. Brian's in Ozark. This will be the one that we are looking forward to most today. Brian, good morning.
Morning. All I got to say is Arkansas's defense sucks, and it's about time Bobby and Sam are gone. Great day for Razorback Nation.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of insight there.
Yeah, it really was.
877
Did you see
377-6963.
Did you see Arch flexing over that Sam Houston State guy? He ran one in and stood over him and flexed.
I didn't watch that game. There were
I
other
saw
games
the highlight.
A lot of weird things happened this weekend. By the way, we're not going to, the officiating was not great. We know that. That's not why Arkansas lost the game. It didn't help. But more people are talking about the officiating in the Oklahoma-Auburn game, in which the SEC
did kind of affect things there.
In which the SEC missed a blatant fake substitution penalty. You can't do that.
That was Satania.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he caught a touchdown because of it. Patrick in Stuttgart, we'll get this one in before we go to the break. Patrick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, I just think it's just such a perfect example of how it's the little things that kill you. Because, we're literally sitting up here, like 2 late game fumbles away from being undefeated. Literally, But then you can go back and look at all the other mistakes along the way. Bad tackling, poor contain on the defense, penalties, all those little things where really in both these games, they really should have been easier wins instead of these close losses. And then, of course, everybody talks about how Sam is like 7-19 now in these one-score games.
Right.
But you can go back to all those games, and it's always the same thing. Untimely penalties, lapses, defensive breakdowns, turnovers in key spots that really could be avoided. We literally, how do you come off of what happened at Ole Miss? Go into the same situation with a chance to put the game away and not drill into that running back's head. Keep 2 hands on the ball. Whatever you do, don't fumble.
That was
but
happening.
Here we are.
Well,
was happening.
You can say that until you're blue in the face.
I know people who were on the sideline. Braylon Russell was running around on the sideline telling people, not just this week, but last week at Ole Miss, in the 2-minute timeout, ball security is the most important thing right now. Ball security is the most important thing right now.
He didn't necessarily drop the ball. I mean, the ball was knocked out.
Well,
you got to give Memphis, you got to give Memphis a certain amount of credit there.
But it still
happened. He did not have 2 hands on the ball.
No, he
didn't have the diving.
That's because he was diving.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I'm just saying it was being talked about. Look, you can't fumble. I mean, you just can't. It doesn't matter how good of a play the other team makes
it's inexcusable there. Yeah. You're right.
We got to hit a break. It's 6:19. It's the Chuck and Bo Show on a very sad and heartbreaking Reaction Monday. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites, like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
One thing, but listen, what a great show. The best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, Bart, we got to have the full report before we get back to all the angry people.
I'm not sure you want it.
No, what happened? What happened in the Pullman Invitational / Open this weekend over in Memphis?
Well, Chuck, our team finished dead last.
Oh my God!
Wow!
How did that happen?
Who was on your team?
Well, we
you
just
and Uncle Sam and
we didn't
Cousin Ralph.
We just didn't as a unit, as a group, did not play our best.
How'd you play, Bart?
I played okay. I wouldn't say that I played great.
You didn't carry the team, in other words.
I got us on. I will say.
You're last.
I will say that off the tee, I got us in play.
It wasn't your fault. It's what you're driving at.
No, I'm not saying that. I share.
Are you putting it on the defense?
No, I share my full. I didn't.
Come on, guys, stop something.
I didn't hit my irons very well. We did not have a lot of close range looks at birdie, and that's what
that'll kill you.
That'll get you.
That ultimately hurt us.
No answers.
Just one of those days. What was not our day?
Man, boy.
But get back into the lab.
Just Memphis all the way around. Just Memphis all the way around.
Yeah.
We all needed to get out of there.
Oh, man. We should play in Memphis every year.
Time to leave.
Arkansas needs to play in Memphis every year.
It kind of seems like we do.
More access for Razorback fans. Yeah. Well, anyhow, that's too bad, Bart. Does anybody have any good news from the weekend? Edward, how was your trip to Silver Dollar City?
Terrible. I'm not afraid to say it on the air.
Wow. You're not part of the Silver Dollar City welcoming committee?
God.
It had some wonderful moments, but overall, it was a very terrible trip.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
For everyone involved.
Whew.
It's really hard to take a 1-year-old 3 hours in the car to go to Silver Dollar City and come back the same day.
Well, now, is that Silver Dollar City's fault?
Partly.
Okay. All right.
What could Silver Dollar City have done to make your experience more enjoyable?
I'm not sure right now.
Yeah.
I need to give it some thought. But
Yeah. Did you have fast passes? Were you standing in line a bunch?
no, there weren't many people there. We
Yeah.
got to ride the rides.
Yeah, that was the good part.
The roller coasters were fun, fast, exhilarating.
That was one of the wonderful moments.
Exhilarating.
The problem is there's not much for a 1-year-old to do
Yeah.
at Silver Dollar City, and he's in a phase where he's so busy, and he just wants to walk around, and so driving 3 hours to do that,
Yeah.
He's not really into the
yeah.
glass blowing yet.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to watch the glass blower. Maybe
got
for 20 seconds.
The
it would
welder.
interest
Yeah.
him.
Did he enjoy the welder?
No,
No. Banging out horseshoes or
The
whatever.
Christmas lights will be good. Christmas lights.
Oh,
will
we
be
won't
good.
be back
Yeah,
for the
we
Christmas
try
lights.
that.
I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a learning experience.
Yeah.
When your
Well,
kids
really,
are the right age.
the
for
worst
whatever.
part was the 3-hour drive in like the curvy back roads all the way up there.
Yeah.
And my wife and I and our child were sitting in the back row
car sick.
because we were going with the in-laws.
Oh no.
And so we were both car sick.
Oh no. No.
The
no,
kiddo
no.
was not happy.
Oh no.
Barely slept on the way back.
Oh no, this is just a horrible weekend all the way around. The thing about playing the 11 a.m. game is it really puts a
Sets the
damper
tone.
on the rest of the
If
weekend.
you don't win, it sets the tone.
I mean,
that's
it
for
was
sure.
just
It's almost like 11 a.m. games are terrible.
almost. I mean, listen,
Who has said that?
I'll tell you, I've just I had a transformation over the weekend. Everybody else is right. Bart's right about 11 a.m.
He
game.
is.
All the people
Cowboys
that have
are terrible.
been taking shots all this time.
Hogs
They
can't win.
they're validated today. I mean, it's just it's going to be a heck of a week.
Sometimes you just get,
Yeah.
get slapped a little bit.
Where's John Pelfrey when you need him? I just laid down.
Sometimes a warrior just needs to lay down and
have a good bleed. I just laid down and had a good bleed over the weekend. Just bleed. I mean, it's just you just got to kind of just that. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Bleed it out.
Yeah, I mean that's the way this weekend went. Oh my gosh, that was brutal. Oh my gosh, that was so bad. Words escaped me on at the end of the game on how just awful. Like it just was the same. Okay, the fumble was one thing, and as if the football god said, not only are we going to stick it to you, we're going to stick it to you like this. We're going to run the backup quarterback in, and he's going to carry your defensive line 7 yards to finish the game off. Or 11, whatever it was.
And they had him stop.
Quarterback.
Had him stop 4 or 5 yards before the marker.
I'm like, this is – part of me was like, oh, this is great. Maybe they'll mishandle a snap or something. They got the backup quarterback in. Nope. He said, I'm going to put these guys on my back and carry them with my fresh legs. Bang.
A 388-pounder.
I mean, that was just whew. Okay. I quit counting at 300 missed tackles. I mean, what didn't go wrong on Saturday? What went well? How about a $50 walk-on gift card? And if you can tell me
getting to 28 to 10, getting to 28 to 10 was good.
Well,
nothing after that was as good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the high water mark right there.
Trivia question: how many points did Arkansas score in the second half?
3.
Mm-hmm. Who actually remembered that from the game or thought of that in the fourth quarter?
Largest comeback win this
They only
season.
scored 3 points in the second half.
Largest comeback win in college football this season for Memphis on Saturday.
Man, it is Therapy Monday. We have moved from Reaction Monday to Therapy Monday. 877-3.
I knew it all along.
776963. That's right. That's the Randy Travis I Told You So Monday.
I told you so.
Get it off your chest. 631. Good morning. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's for health, confidence and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Isn't it interesting when something doesn't go our way and we immediately start blaming people, and there's this rare occasion where there is nobody to blame, and you have to deal with the fact that it's just you.
You're right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
A lot of blame to go around over the weekend. Oh, I don't know if you watched any of the NFL, but there was more of that stuff happening in the NFL. Blocked field goals, missed field goals.
Just not playing winning football. I mean, there are just certain things winning teams do and don't do. And that's why one team wins and one team loses.
Yeah.
And look, we've seen it up close, and we watched it on television yesterday too.
Man, here's Sam Pitman after the game.
Yes, we got a lot of work to do. You know, we tried to fix some things. You know, defensively, we were trying to fix some things from a week ago. Or I don't know how much we got fixed, to be honest with you, with a 500-yard day on us. But I told them we got to get to work offensively. We were in field goal range on the second to last drive, and we got sacked. You know, that took us out. We're going to go up 8, assuming he makes the field goal. So we wasted some points there where, you know, instead of them scoring, going for 2, not making, them score, going for 2 and losing. But the bottom line, you can name 1,000 scenarios on there. We can't let a team go 95 to take a lead on. We just can't. And they went by pretty easy. So we have to do a better job there.
The thing that I've noticed the last couple of weeks is that your opponent ought to have to work a little harder to get their points. You know, you're going to give up points in the modern college football game, but they've not had to work very hard for them. And that would be, that would be a start right there. I don't know if you go from giving up 30, 35, 40 a game to being shut down, but, you say make them go the long way. Well, they did. I mean, Devin Bale did his job Saturday more than once. And they made him go the long way. And then they didn't put up much of a fight as they were doing it. And but, the offense scored 3 points in the second half. And so this was a team loss. And I know that the defense is what stands out because it happened all day. And the offense was good for a half, but it wasn't good in the second half. And so, there's plenty of blame to go around, honestly.
It never comes down to one thing. It's a lot of little things, penalties, turnovers. But let's just talk about turnovers for a second.
All right.
We talked about it all offseason, all the fumbles last year. I saw Otis Kirk talking on TV last night, and he said, last year he had Arkansas picked to go 8-4, and people were making fun of him or whatever. And maybe they win 9 games if they don't turn the ball over the way they did last year. If you think about a lot of the games last year, like the Oklahoma State games, an easy one. By the way, the unraveling of the Oklahoma State program, they were a projected playoff team going into the season last year, a favorite to win the Big 12. And then Arkansas plays them the way they did. You think, man, they should have rolled them. They lose. And then Oklahoma State ended up just imploding, and they haven't ever made it back since. Mike Gundy's going to have an opportunity for a new job next year in all probability. Dabo's going to have an opportunity for a new job next year. Another way of saying I don't think either one of those guys will be at their place. But Arkansas, these turnovers this year, you're looking at the possibility of being 4-0 and feeling on top of the world and like everything is right going into this Notre Dame game. And today you look at it like the season's over. They're proud. They might not win another game. I mean, literally. How? It's not that they're not talented enough. Their players are good enough to compete in this league. They were good enough to compete in this league last year. And at some point, we always talk about it's not just the coach. But when things like this happen, that's where it goes. And that's just the job.
It's cliche-ish, but you hear people say they don't know how to win. And that's kind of where they are right now. They have gotten to that point over and over and over again, and then they don't make a winning play. And but, here's the thing. Most teams out there that lose on Saturday, there's a lot of teams out there that come close. We seem to come closer than most and still find a way to not win, but there's a lot of teams out there that come close. And the common denominator generally is 1 or 2 plays down the stretch. And to me, that just falls under the category of winning football. And it doesn't mean if you win one, you're going to win them all. But, you were talking about Oklahoma State. We've seen this here. Man, it can happen fast. I mean, it can happen in a hurry. And it's happened in a hurry at Oklahoma State. It happened in a hurry here some years back. And, that's Oklahoma State's in a spot where it's going to take them a long time to recover from this. Gundy's earned the right to finish the year, but they're going to have a hard time recovering from the last couple of seasons.
Guys, if you're struggling with your energy level, maybe weight gains, maybe you just don't feel the same. You might have low testosterone, could be a number of things. But the Sweat No Edge is designed to help you discover where you are. Google the Sweat No Edge. Just look it up. It'll take you right to the site. And you can fill out a quick evaluation. It's free. You can find out where you are, and you can get a game plan that can be a game changer in your life. We all get older, and things happen when you get older. You don't feel the same. I mean, this is something that medically they will keep an eye on you with your labs and all that stuff. You're not just getting a blanket prescription to change your life. You're getting something that works just for you. And find out where you are by checking out the Sweat No Edge. The Sweat No Edge can be life-changing and game-changing for you. It's 6:43. You can weigh in if you want on a really difficult Saturday, but it's more than that. I mean, this was a serious blow, it felt like, to the program and where you are overall. By the way, somebody texted, the only thing worse than losing the game is Bo feigning his surprise over this happening. If you weren't surprised, I don't even know what to tell you. I think anybody that watched the game was surprised that Arkansas blew an 18-point lead and then fumbled it away for a second straight week at the end. That doesn't mean that you thought all was right with the program. But if you're telling me you weren't surprised by the way that game unfolded, I get that it also felt like, here we go again, but did you really expect that? That was your expectation going into the game? Yeah, I was 100% surprised, and not in a good way. 6:44, good morning. Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea, and when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
We got a hell of a team now. I know we got beat, but we've got a good football team now. And, I mean, we've got a really good team.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Notre Dame's opened at -6. -6. I would have now, I know Notre Dame's not done as well as some people thought they might, but I would have thought a little bit more than that, Bart.
It's a classic rally the troops spot for the Razorbacks. The issue with that.
No, let me back up real quick. That was last week. That was a classic rally the troop spot.
Well, I know what
you're saying, but I couldn't just.
What I was back at home, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah. We have not in college football this year. We have not seen those moments go the way of that team. Like Florida had one of these last week. Right, just an all-time rally the troops moment, and
then they did.
DJ Lagway threw 5 picks
again,
and then they followed it up with another loss to Miami. We have not seen.
I see what you're saying.
We have not seen the teams rally in the rally the troops moments. So
that's encouraging. Thank you.
Thanks, Bart.
Thanks, Bart, with a side of encouragement this morning.
I've been diving in. I've been looking at stats. I've been doing all sorts of
You've
stuff.
You've been trying to find a way.
I've just been looking for the information.
You haven't given up on your job. You're still grinding.
Right.
In the Chevy Fayetteville
it's
situation,
not over for Bart.
Because our
job,
is to bring information and let people interpret that information and feel whatever they want to feel. It's not my job to sit here and say that so-and-so should lose their job or whatever.
We also tell you how we feel.
Right. And I'll just tell you this. Arkansas 19-1 when winning the turnover battle under Sam Pitman. Now 4-20 when losing the turnover battle. In more than half the games that Sam Pitman has been the head coach, Arkansas has lost the turnover battle.
I just got a little sick.
That is a humongous problem. I do not have a statistic to remedy that.
Thanks for cheering us up.
Man, I'm trying. Look, I was looking for.
How about this?
Yeah, that was like stat food poisoning.
How about this? If they're going to play a great game, and I don't know that they are, but if they are, it'll be this week. How about that, Bart? Can we run with that?
How about this, Bart? How about this? How about Arkansas wins the turnover battle on Saturday?
They win the game. They're 19-1 when they do.
Yeah. Cecil, good morning, Cecil. How you doing, buddy? Cecil, collect yourself.
Got to turn that radio down.
Bart went to talking and Cecil went to take a nap. JR's in Shady Grove.
I'm sorry.
Well, no,
I don't have much
Cecil.
good to say.
Cecil turned it over.
Cecil stepped away.
JR, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
We're okay. How are you?
We're here.
Doing good. Been a while. I'd like to just air out a little bit of what I've seen.
Okay.
Very frustrating. Very frustrated with the turnout of the game, but. Right there at the end, I went out to my shop. I thought, you know what, this is over with. Had radio going out there. That play where they brought in the backup quarterback, and I heard Chuck say, "You got to be kidding me." And I thought, wonder what happened on that play. So I went back and watched it on YouTube, and I seen what took place. Now, you know what? I don't know. I'm just a contractor, so this is where I'm at with this. I know there's millions of dollars flowing through that football program right now between the players and coaches. If you can get players motivated enough to stop a backup quarterback on 3rd down and 8 or whatever it was in your 6th year, there's a problem. And that's just where I'm at. I mean, I can't understand why you let a backup quarterback run for 8 yards, and it's just indicative. You can't blame it all on one play. I understand that, but that was the telltale of the whole game right there. So anyway, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
No, I agree with you because of this. It's almost like one of those deals where if they play action fake it and throw it over your head, you got tricked. But you, like the game, the season, everything's on the line, and it's like you got to totally sell out and guess that they're going to run the ball, and you just got to go. I mean, you got to have a.
Well, it was 3rd and 8. They were not going to throw the ball right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a total trick.
It's still a mystery to me why he was in the game.
Well, because the helmet came off.
All right,
and they could have called a timeout.
Yes,
and got
that's
their
what I
quarterback
thought they
back
would do.
in. Yes,
that's what I thought they were going to do.
And I was surprised they just ran him out. And it's almost like they didn't even realize it because they ran him out there real quick at the end.
I think that's right. I expected them to call a timeout there and keep Lewis in the game. That's what I mean. I'm still confused as to why they ran the play with him out there. I guess they knew what they were doing.
The only thing it was also very confusing the way the play developed. I mean, how do you not?
It shows you the power of leverage, man. I mean, if you don't get the right leverage, even if you're 388 pounds, you still lose the battle.
Chuck and Bo Show, it's Monday.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call. Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I'll tell you what I did during the storm, what all middle-aged men do. I opened my garage door, I walked out to the driveway, I looked around.
Thought about having a cigarette?
I assessed the situation. I looked down the street, I saw other middle-aged guys doing the same thing. And all of a sudden, everybody's garage door closed, and we all went back inside. That's how it works in the neighborhood on a stormy day.
That is such a great reality. That is so true. What is it about, like, appreciating the rain?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'm not really into the rain this morning. No. I mean, it was, it's okay sometimes, but
we're gonna have to make a call on Mountain Home.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we've got downpours in the forecast. It looks like.
I mean, I'm anxious to get Bart back out on the course after struggling.
You got to get back up on the horse.
You
got to get back up on the horse
over the weekend. But I don't know that tomorrow's. Here's the thing. I mean, we don't want Bart out there playing in the driving rain, and then that being the reason that he shot 120.
No.
This needs to be legit. I want to just say before we get back to calls, and we'll get right back to calls. I had this moment of human interest, Chuck, where I was thinking about the LPGA event at Pinnacle over the weekend and how awful I feel for all the people that put months and months of preparation into this event, and all the money and all the time and all the labor that goes into setting that up. Grandstands, tents, parties planned. I mean, a great thing for the community in Northwest Arkansas. And they were able to get only 18 holes in on Friday. And they ended the tournament. It ended up being the final results. I think Stacy Lewis shot 3 or 4 under. She played well on Friday. Who knows? She might have been able to make a run. I mean, it's just a great event. The Walmart community, everybody that and the Rogers Bentonville area is such a unique and special place to go. If you're from out of town and you get to Northwest Arkansas and you haven't experienced that lately, do it. It's like a whole new world. But you just forget about all that goes in to the infrastructure in an event like that. And when you lose it because of the weather, you can't just reschedule or postpone it. I mean, that was just indicative of the whole freaking weekend.
Yes.
I mean,
everything.
It was just
the Cowboys lost, and
my daughter went and cheered for the Fayetteville High School football Bulldogs in Texarkana.
Yeah.
They took buses.
Yeah.
You know when I picked her up from the school?
3 in the morning.
3:30.
They got drubbed too. I saw
42-29. 3:30 in the morning. That was the start of the weekend. 11 a.m. Bang! Here come the Razorbacks. 28-10. Let's go. Doing exactly like what I thought they were going to do. And that was.
They wound up dead.
And then that happened.
It rained all weekend.
Thank you, Edward. Cecil, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, fellas. Good morning. Good morning, Bo, Chuck.
Hello,
Cecil. Everybody up in there.
Timely and unexpected.
Yeah. Hey. Well. So man.
What are your thoughts, Cecil?
It's Deflation Monday. Man. Hey. It was a lot of that. This is the thing, man. 276 pounds is not big enough for a defensive lineman in Division I SEC football. And I'm learning. A lot of these guys are new. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn their names, their numbers. But number 97, man, is too light in the ass. Football is a man's sport. It's a mean sport. And you have to have an attitude when you go out there and play the game. And it ain't piggyback riding. In 97, a few occasions, I saw him piggyback riding. And 380 pounds. I don't care if he was a wide receiver. That's big. And it's just like I played linebacker with Raven Caldwell, and we were great. And it's all about leverage, just like Chuck said. No leverage. The guy, the 97 is 6'6". I just Googled him. He's 6'6". You have to get leverage. You got to get low. He piggyback ride that man. He jumped on that man's back like London Bridge is falling down when we were kids. That reminded me when we were kids. London Bridge is falling down. And that was so embarrassing. But I'm gonna say this: Coach Pitman is the head coach. I understand it. He hires defensive coordinators. He hires offensive coordinators. It ain't Bobby Petrino's fault. He's still putting points on the board. It's the defensive coordinator's fault. It ain't. I mean, you got to blame somebody, okay? But the guys that didn't do the damn tackling on the field, you have to blame them because they piggyback riding. London Bridge. I mean, that's ridiculous, man.
Bridge.
That's crazy, man.
That's going to be in everybody's head all day.
And that was my 7th pick. I gave up 9 points, 9.5 points. I would have hit on a 7th pick.
Now we're getting to the heart of it.
That's crazy. I had that much confidence in Arkansas. I'm like, Arkansas, I guess the spread was about 6 or something, but I gave up 9.5. I just knew we was going to go in there and handle our business, and I knew we was going to cover 9.5. And we just blew the game, man. You know, and I'm, you know, I love my Razorbacks. I love them to death. I got my tickets. I'm a mosey on up there Saturday, but we're going to have to win this game Saturday to get to, it's called get back, because the games that we lose, they were all winnable games from last year too. Year before last, they were all winnable games. We just shot ourselves in the foot. And Big Ball, it was the man to carry that football. In crunch time like that, when you're in the red zone, Ball is the man. He's a roly-poly, bounce around, 8 ball.
You talking about Russell? You talking about Braylon?
I mean, Russell, yes. Yeah. Yes, Russell should have got that football. Washington is a hell of a running back. I love to see Washington run the ball, especially when he get out on the sideline and get a little. Yeah. But, man, he's not a power back. And then when they slowed it down, he tried to cushion himself with his left hand. He should have he had the ball wrapped up tight with his right hand. Chuck, I know y'all all saw that. And Chuck, you the man. I know you saw it first. You probably the first one that saw it.
I don't know about that.
But Braylon Russell. Let me give you this stat. Braylon Russell had 4 carries, 4 for 47 yards, 11.8 a carry. Mike Washington had 15 for 80 yards, 4.7. Now I will say this. Mike Washington was the hot hand there late in the game, and he was picking up 5-6 yards a carry.
They were moving the ball down the field.
But I mean, it's hard to argue that Braylon, you know, the way he's run the ball between the tackles, and has bounced off tackles and has protected the ball. I mean, you know, it's a lot of things happened in the game. But my point is it's not an invalid point, the one you're making.
No, but I do wonder. We'll never know. But I wonder if there'd not been the fumble there, and it had turned into what I was just describing as more of a short yardage situation. Yeah. Does he come on the field for the next snap? We'll never know.
They might have been a carry away from.
I mean, they're out at the 9-yard line, and they're handing the ball off to Washington.
Got the first down,
but we'll never know. I mean, we'll never know.
Wasn't that a first down when Ball ran? I mean, when he fumbled, that was the first down.
When Washington fumbled, he had.
Washington fumbled. Yeah. That was the first down.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah. And
so at that point, maybe you make a switch. But again, I mean, it's a moot point now. Yeah.
It's just.
Thanks, Cecil.
Thanks for the call.
All right, y'all have a good day.
I feel your pain. 877-377-6963. We go to Fort Worth. People listening all over the world today. Mike, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Mike.
Good to have you.
It.
Yep.
I'm a diehard Hog fan and hurt like everybody else. I just wonder if, I don't know what the mechanics of such a switch would be, but I'm guessing and it would only be an interim basis, but if you put Bobby Petrino ahead of the team, there would be some different attitudes on the defensive side of the ball in terms of their ability to get stuff done. He's done it before as a head coach, and maybe you put Sam up in the booth as assistant head coach or whatever to keep him. But somehow Bobby's got to transition his coaching style to the rest of the team. I don't know if he can do that, but it would be a better option than we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, cultures are built in the off season. They're not built in the middle of the season. But I can tell you one thing. I'm pretty sure that I can say this with 100% accuracy. I'm going to run that back. I'm pretty sure I can say this with 100% accuracy. There is no scenario in which Sam Pitman becomes an assistant head coach.
No, you're right about
with the Razorbacks.
You are right about that.
In this season. Petrino in a change mid-season sometimes works from the standpoint of you're just shifting gears, and there's sort of a reset. But most of the time, it's really not the best move. It's just a pound of flesh to sort of indicate we're not going to accept these results anymore.
It's not baseball. Baseball, you can fire a manager, before you're halfway through the season, turn this thing around, still make the playoffs. I'm not saying it happens every year, but it's happened before. Very, very seldom in football do you name an interim coach and it turns around. You're just passing time until you hire a permanent replacement. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I won't pretend to. But I do know that most of the time, the majority of the time, the interim coach inherits a lot of the same issues. And one thing that people have talked about: will Gundy be fired in the season? Will Dabo be fired? And I know people are wondering that about Sam Pittman too. Where are the players in terms of getting paid? Are guys going to quit on you? Have guys already gotten their money? Can you come in and have a total culture change in this era? I don't know.
That's another good point.
There's just a lot more to it now than maybe there was even 2 or 3 years ago, and doesn't mean you don't do it. It just means there are lots of questions.
Bart's in the Chevy of Fayetteville situation room.
Just a quick point, since we're in this kind of new era of college athletics, and it's come up a couple of times this year already, as a couple of coaches have already been fired. When a coach gets fired in today's college football, it opens up a 30-day window where players can just leave the program.
Right.
They can't play that year anywhere else.
No, but they can just transfer out. And so when you fire a coach in the middle of the season, there's a chance that you could lose a lot of players, a lot of bodies.
Here's the other. It's true, but here's where that is, I think, more relevant. Before you've reached the point of no return on red shirts, we've reached that point. In other words, if you've played 2 or 3 games?
4.
So you got to play 4. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get to the 33%, whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, so once you've played 4 games, you can no longer take a red shirt that season.
Unless you get to a bowl game.
So there's all these seniors or whatever who if they had made a move like they did at Virginia Tech or UCLA, that could say, okay, I'm done because I want a whole other year of eligibility. That wouldn't be the case here for guys that have been playing. The other thing we don't know in a situation like that is, to Chuck's point, are guys, if they were to leave, do they lose their NIL money or what they were getting paid per their contract? So you got that at play.
There's just a lot of unknown.
What's way worse is if nobody leaves and they all quit, but they're still playing.
Yeah, and you're still paying them.
And you're still paying them.
But you got to remember, too, we've talked about this. This was the only year where a lot of these deals were front-loaded before this, before the decision came down from the courts. I'm not necessarily talking about Arkansas. I'm just talking generally around college sports. I just don't know if that affects things in terms of coaching changes. But I've got to believe it might.
Let's go to Bentonville. Camo? Camo. Good morning.
Camo.
What's up, Camo?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. All right, I'm going to come in. I'm going to come in with a whole different message. The best thing that could have happened to our football program happened this past weekend. Memphis Tigers has saved Arkansas football.
How?
They left the university and the administration with the ultimatum. they cannot continue on with what is happening. And Chuck, we love you to death. I mean, you got to be tired of calling that stuff every weekend. I'm not going to change.
I wish they could win. Hey, here's the deal, though, Camo. We've done this a lot, and we generally end up back at the same spot. And so that, that's the one thing about all this. And so if we go through it again, I hope we can get in a position where maybe we don't end up back where we are now.
I think it's the first time that the Hog fans, this is the first time we're all on about the same page in a long time. So
I don't know about that.
Got to come. Let's make Razorback football great again. Love y'all. Take care.
Right.
Yep,
Thanks
for the
Camo.
call. 717. More calls coming up. 877-377-6963. If you want to jump in here. Hey, I saw Chuck Silverado pull in the parking lot again today, and I thought, man, that's a good-looking ride. They got 200 new
Did you hear
vehicles.
that stereo system?
Chevy F8, but you were bumping.
I was banging, baby.
The other thing, too, is when you start that thing up, it sounds like a truck.
Well, it does.
Like as soon as you start
it does.
up. And then you just drive away, and you got a smile on your face. You got a little pep in your step, win or lose.
That's an attitude.
Because
it's a way of life.
You're driving a Chevy Silverado.
It's a way of life now.
Found inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. They've also got other incredible brands and deals on Acura, Honda, Toyota, huge selection of pre-owned options. Been in business 25 years because of relationships, trust, and top-tier service. The Fayetteville Auto Park. Drive with confidence.
Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
we, and I include myself in this, we like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
David is in Searcy. It is what is today? Reaction Monday, but it feels like a lot more than that. It's
David, what's up?
Oh. Did David check out during the break?
David said, I've had enough.
You can weigh in if you want. Text, call 877-377-6963, or you can just sort of get your emotional support.
David's the man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah?
Yeah, what happened with that money, by the way?
Yeah,
what happened with that money?
I still got it sitting right here.
You really?
Oh, yeah.
Because the word on the street was that you spent it on cheese nachos and chicken nachos, something.
No.
What was it he sent the picture out on?
It was cheese fries.
Cheese fries.
Chives.
I'm sorry.
Had chives on there.
Yeah, chives.
Well, I mean, look, I go
Bacon,
back.
crumbled bacon.
I go back to Memphis. I got to go to Huey's and get some cheese fries and a burger. That's just. And then go to Corky's and get some barbecue, you know.
Well, I mean, all that's great. We just want to make sure you didn't use any of the breakfast money for that.
Did not use a dime. It's still right there.
Okay.
We interrupt the regularly scheduled Dance on the Grave of the Razorbacks program to talk about Bart for a moment.
Okay.
And so a couple things happened when you left on Friday.
Okay.
We got word, it had dawned on us that you were in charge of the breakfast fund, and we only got breakfast one day last week.
Yeah.
And there was enough in there for a full week's of breakfast, right? A full week's worth of breakfast.
Probably not quite that much.
Well,
but yeah,
I mean, if you manage it right, I mean, you're managing the breakfast fund.
Potentially, yeah.
And then Edward, who is apparently the only one allowed to follow your private Instagram story, was on the inside seeing Bart's using the breakfast fund to buy himself things on this excursion. That's the first thing that happened.
That's not.
Second thing that happened is we never really did get down to the bottom of why you're going to Memphis for a one-day golf tournament 2 days early.
Okay. Well, there's reasons for that. Yeah.
And so
Did you have like the stem meter out on the greens and everything, measuring? Making sure it was just right.
This was the first year. This was the 42nd Pullman Open. This was the first year after last year's edition. My dad and his brothers, my uncles, turned the tournament over to the next generation. So it's
a rite of passage.
It was.
Really?
It was
Is there
our
a ceremony
It was
involved?
our first year in charge of running the whole thing, and I was one of the ringleaders.
Oh my gosh! Of course you were.
And
we knew.
So,
see, you said, Chuck. That's what pin placements.
So it wasn't all that, but it wasn't all that. But it was getting
times.
It was getting everything ready for the Calcutta on Friday night. Like going out and buying all food, drinks, all the supplies. Making sure we were good to go at the golf course. Just everything that goes into putting on the tournament.
It's hard work.
That had to be done.
Much like the people at the LPGA.
Friday was a day of chores and getting everything ready to go for.
So in essence, you were stocking the skybox at the game the day before the game. That's okay. I got it. Yeah,
it's got to be hard to handle all those administrative
getting all
tasks,
the prizes, all that,
and then go out and play good golf,
and then have your head in a spot to go play good golf.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's why the Ryder Cup captain is very seldom a player, because there's so much involved in managing the team that you can't really concentrate on your game, and that's kind of what happened to you, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And that's how you finished dead last.
Yeah.
Hey, I drove the ball very, very well. I will say that.
Hey, first to worst, I mean, it happens.
They wound up dead.
That's Bart's team at the very end.
Well, you know what? We'll try to do better next year.
Scott's in Springfield. Scott, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, fellas. I want to frame this first by saying I have been in Coach Pitt's corner from day one. I think he is the kind of guy that we need to be at the University of Arkansas. He loves the program. He has humbled himself. Who else would have brought in Bobby Petrino, knowing that if anything good happens, he can get all the credit? The man loves the program. We needed him to be successful. Unfortunately, I've lost faith in him. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but it just seems like we keep seeing the same things year after year.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we can go. I don't know who would even want to come here. We've got to get this mindset that the NIL, is actually something that is in favor of us. We are a program that is straddled with a small recruiting base. The NIL is the equalizer. And why we won't embrace this more, I don't know. It just seems like we go around, we shoot ourselves in the foot, and then for good measure, we reload and shoot ourselves again.
Well, it's interesting. I don't think talent is an issue right now. I'm not saying they're built to win the national championship, but this is a team that has lost games because of turnovers the last couple of years. And I said this year, and I meant it. Like, we can't roll every year into this year until we've seen results, okay? Well, now we've seen it through 2 straight games, and it is the same thing in terms of how it's happening, and it is puzzling because Arkansas is beating itself.
That's one of the reasons I think we're seeing the reaction to this game be greater than maybe the reaction to some of the other games. When you lose a game to an SEC team, even if you lose a game in the fashion that they did last week when they fumbled that game away at Ole Miss, you still can say we lost to an SEC team. You can't make those mistakes against an SEC team, and it's still to a degree about the other side. When you lose to Memphis, then it's about us. It's we can't win. We're playing a non-Power 4 team, and we fumble the ball away at the end. We don't know how to win. I think the fact that it's who the loss was to, I think has as much to do with this as anything.
Yeah, you're a favorite.
Yeah.
And you're up 18 points.
Yeah.
Mike's in Fayetteville. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. I can't wait to hear what Clay has to say about this. I fly fish a little bit and out there to see him, and I really, really want his take.
Call him up.
Caller,
sounds like you guys are pals.
Well, I'm going to be over at Norfolk this week. I live in Fayetteville, but we're fishing Taneycomo today. I'm heartbroken, guys, but I have to say this. It's not Sam Pittman. Sam Pittman, if you really consider as an offensive line guy, that's where he came from. Can you imagine 5 years from now he's going to be saying, guys, they made me a head coach in the SEC. From offensive lineman coach to a head coach at the SEC. He's done more than – I think he's outkicked his coverage.
Yeah.
So when we're putting the expectations – now, this is Memphis, don't get me wrong. But the expectation of him, I don't think he's in the right position. And we're expecting something that's not there. And the athletic director, and no hard feelings about Hunter. Hunter's running a resume. Hunter's running a Director's Cup standings. He's running a financial program. He's running his resume. He's getting everything out of Arkansas that he can get for his next position, wherever that might be. And if we can look at it from that perspective, we don't have the Blue Bloods back in on the heel with Arkansas athletics the way we did under the Frank Broyles administration. And they're running a major big-time business over there, and it's a more corporate fan base than it's ever been. They're catering to the bigger money, and it's not necessarily dyed-in-the-wool Arkansas fans. So the program has got a lot of moving parts that got problems with it, and then that's why it shows up on the field Saturday against Memphis. We can point at one or two things, fumble here or missed tackles on the 8-yard run by the backup quarterback, but that's cultural. And until that really gets on the right footing and you make the right hires, that's not going to necessarily change. You'll win one or two here and there, but it's proven itself. So I'm fly fishing, accepting the fact that we are kind of who we are. And it's a transition to basketball and baseball, and I'll keep contributing to the foundation, and I'll keep buying season tickets. But I made a firm promise that I'm not doing NIL until I really know down deep we're changed. And we knew under Bobby Petrino we were changed. But under Bielema started to change it. But under Chad Morris and under Pitman, we're not.
So what I hear you saying, Mike, is that if they'll hire Bobby Petrino, you'll write him an NIL check.
No, here's you know what I would do it in a short period of time, but I would want Bobby out of there somewhere within the next year to get somebody in that really understands what the dynamics of college football are today and really know how to take it forward. See, the other thing I want to say, I don't think there's long-term planning for our football program. I don't think there's strategy behind the decisions we make. I think they're short-term decisions for whoever is benefiting the most at that time.
I agree with that.
You said a lot of great things, Mike. I mean, I think you feel logically like a lot of people I've heard talk do. We got to hit a break. Thanks for your thoughts. It's 7:34. Good morning. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
vacation last week, so I didn't go anywhere or do anything. That's the best vacation I've had in a long time.
Man.
Yeah, I don't want to even leave the house. I ain't got to.
That sounds like a dream come true for Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
One thing you can definitely do on a Monday when everything else is going poorly is you can bank better. And you do that at First Security Bank. More convenient locations and people that are willing to help you out with whatever you need, whenever you need it. Customer service, unrivaled. Good people helping our Kansans every day. First
Every
Security
day.
Bank. FSBank.com online. First Security Bank member FDIC. All in on local support. Rick in Lowell. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. 7:40 Monday morning. Go ahead.
No, it's Monday morning, that's for sure.
All day, or at least all morning.
All day, every day. Yep. As the gentleman prefaced earlier, I've been behind Sam Pitman since day one. I've been behind Hunter Yurchek since day one. This is Razorback red running through my veins. But over the last 6 years, it's been harder and harder and harder to tell somebody I'm a Razorback fan. Football fan. Let me preface that. But I'm going to just tell you, Saturday, I don't know if it was Coach Pitman or Coach Petrino or all three of them. I mean, Coach Pittman's at the head of the list, but they were just out coached in that second half. They were, we were what, 17-point lead coming out of the first half, and then we scored 3 points in the second half. Unfortunately, it's time for me to say it's time for a new regime. We don't do it this week. We don't do it next week. We wait till the end of the season. But if they don't get a new head coach, I don't know what else we do.
I don't think you have to worry
any
about
more light on it, Chuck?
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think everybody knows where this is. I mean, everybody. You, me, everybody involved. And by the way, let me say this. I appreciate the way you framed that up. Being supportive of the situation until you can't be supportive anymore doesn't mean you like it or accept it, but you're supporting where you are. There's no point in running people down and trying to fire people before you've even started the season. The season will play out as it is in front of us now, and we're reacting to that. And that's what you do. And this thing has gotten to a point where it's just hard to get your head around how it's happening. And when it gets to that point and there's too many holes in the dam, that's when changes are made, whether it'll be now or at the end of the season. I think we all know where this is. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Brian's in Greenwood. Brian, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, Brian. Alan and Rogers. We'll try him. Alan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I enjoy your show as usual. But the reason we lost that game, to me, was very simple. We had the superior running attack. We had the muscle. Jesse Palmer commented on it. Braylon Russell getting 4 carries is ridiculous. We had that Rulon Jones had that nice carry that
nice
was
catch
it for
yep.
him.
2 of them.
But he could run from the backfield too.
They ran that tight end play with him.
Yeah, they could be so diverse. And Jesse Palmer also said that Platt looks like he could play on Sundays, with his speed and size, and he got 1 catch. But the big thing is we had the superior talent, but we didn't utilize it. It's like Petrino was trying to prove how diverse he is and how he can develop a quarterback. But Talon Green is not the only potential star on that team. I think Braylon Russell has got the ingredients to play in the NFL. He's big, he's powerful, he can make cuts, and getting 4 carries when they had this, they were playing to stop the pass. They had 8 guys back or whatever. You run that ball down their throat all day long, and Memphis wouldn't have come close to us. I don't know if you remember. I'm sure Chuck remembers Joe Gibbs real well. He'd win a game lots of different ways. He'd win it one way during a half, and he'd win it another way the second half. And we had the superior talent. Saturday was not a talent issue. We had
Agreed.
the superior talent. It was the play calling, and I'll put it on Bobby Petrino because his lousy play calling, we should have been shoving that ball down their throat all day long and not worry about how diverse Taylor Green can be throwing that ball around.
Thank you for the call, Alan. We'll take a break, take more of your reaction. It's Monday at 7:45. Good morning.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's stunning to hear every 20 minutes a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. But we can help. Grant life-changing wishes with Waiters for Wishes and the Razorback men's basketball team. It's Tuesday, September 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. This private ticketed event lets you take photos, get autographs, challenge your favorite hog to a Pop-A-Shot, and bid on silent auction items, all benefiting Make-A-Wish Mid-South. Tables are limited and going fast, so reserve yours today at midsouth.wish.org.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
you're just going to have to go today. You're just going to have to. Today is going to be
what I
maybe
told myself.
one of those days you're just going to have to go, and you'll be glad you did.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bummed, man. We had this whole weekend thing, and now we're going to have to postpone Bart's breaking 90.
This
Breaking
rain
Bart
thing
is just, it's too much rain tomorrow. I mean, it's like
100%.
Raining now. It's been raining, and then it's going to rain tomorrow. And so we're going to reschedule the show at Big Creek, and we'll get you a new date on that. But we want it to be an event, not like show up and then, Bart has an excuse for waiting his way to 120. We want it to be legit, and
Well, and there are
also,
going to be people that are going to come, and we look forward
Right.
to seeing everyone. And we're not wanting everyone to have to stand out in the rain all morning long to watch Bart play.
or be hungover from a loss to Memphis.
That's right.
Brian and Greenwood, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, so I got two topics I'd like to touch on real quick. And one is where I was at with Sam and where I'm at today. Now, realistically, I'm a huge fan, but being in the bottom third of NIL and the bottom third, which probably equates to talent, my expectations were 6-6 and a bowl win last year, 6-6 and a bowl win this year, and I would be happy, okay? But after Ole Miss, 234 yards passing in the first half, 34 were in the air, 200 were yards after catch. After giving 493 yards up to Memphis, I've lost faith in his coaching ability. So it's not NIL. It's not talent when you're facing Memphis. People are not in the right position. They're not wrapping up and tackling. They don't seem to have the attitude or the spirit that they need to compete. So that was my first topic. Now, my other topic is last week I missed out on, you called it Truthful Tuesday, I think.
That's right.
And Chuck said that he had that Lane Kiffin chose Ole Miss, and that was that. But the rumor on the street is a little different, and I want to see if you guys
that
are
rumor.
insiders.
I think I know. Quickly go there, but I don't think that's true, and I'll tell you why.
All right,
But go ahead.
quickly. We had a handshake deal for Lane Kiffin.
That's not true.
Ole Miss offered him more money.
That's not
He come back and asked us to match. We said no, thank you.
No. Kiffin chose Ole Miss because of the roster, and I know because I had a conversation with him about it, like while it was going on. So that's right.
So he didn't come back and ask for more money?
No, he wanted to go where he had the best chance of winning with a good roster.
People think it's always about money. With coaches, they're going to be rich regardless. The final decisions are always, most often made about rosters, particularly when you're talking about a coach like Kiffin. Now, you got a guy moving up for in terms of salary, life-changing money, that's a different deal. But for a guy like Kiffin, it's about roster.
I'll go one step further, Chuck. I don't know if Arkansas has ever not gotten a coach because they didn't pay him enough money. In other words, it never came down to that. It came down to the coach that they wanted deciding to go somewhere else. David and Cersei, go ahead, buddy. David again. Man, 0 for 2 today. Breakfast fun, David. All right, we got more calls that we'll get to. We got to hit a break, and then we'll get back on track here with a little bit more time to talk. We are brought to you in part by Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by Teamwork. When it comes to quality, I'm talking about certified materials that are sustainable, last, and give you a roof that you can count on for many, many years to come. Not shortcuts, not cutting corners, durable. A team that's going to communicate with you the whole time. They're going to show up with certified crews that know what they're doing and are experts in doing difficult jobs. Whatever the job is, teamworkbuilt.com. Go to their website. If your insurance company is telling you, hey, you need 3 quotes, make sure Teamwork Roofing and Construction are one of those quotes. Teamworkbuilt.com, built on quality, powered by Teamwork. It's almost 8 o'clock. Chuck and Bo Show. When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other.
Walk On Sports Bistro. We live for this. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I just have, I imagine in your house. I've never been in your home, not because I don't want to. I've just never been invited. I imagine.
I've never been to your house either.
I don't know. You've been to anybody's house.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've not been invited either.
You go to anybody's house?
No.
Like anybody?
No one invites me.
Chuck's key to life is you don't come to my house and I won't go to yours. We'll just live out here in the wild together.
You're reading me like a children's
But I
story.
have.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and the first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Washington is the single setback, takes the handoff, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for 2, gets down to the 7. There's a scrum down there. Memphis says the ball's out.
We didn't want to score, but we had to get another first down. Oh, we didn't have to, but you want to leave 50 seconds on the clock for them? I don't.
Memphis says the ball came out. They're looking at it down there. Memphis celebrating as though they've recovered a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the runner fumbled the ball prior to being down by rule.
Mike feels terrible, and I hate it for him because he's been such a great player for us. He still is. He just happened to they jarred the ball loose from him.
Harrington Maiden has checked in. He's going to run an option on 3rd down. He'll get out across the 10. He's continuing to carry tacklers, and he's got the first down. Are you kidding me? They push the pile out across the 20-yard line. It's a first down.
Defensively, we were trying to fix some things from a week ago. I don't know how much we got fixed, to be honest with you, with a 500-yard day on us.
Lewis gets the snap, hands it to Smith, coming right side. He gets out across the 16 to the 17-yard line, and that's it. Ball game's over. Memphis celebrates. They've got some students rushing the field, and the Tigers have beaten the Razorbacks.
We've got to get our confidence back defensively, and we've got to help them do that. Offensively, we're scoring 3 points in the second half. We got to get our confidence back there, too. And we got to show them that we're coaching them well enough to change that. So I like the team. I think we're going to be fine as far as being ready for Notre Dame. Obviously, we know they're a really good team.
Oh, my God.
It's even worse when
What's
you hear
up,
it
buddy?
again, isn't it?
Rod, you're on the air. Chuck and Bo.
Yeah, Notre Dame, let us at them. Shoot, what can go wrong? We're having a problem with ball securement. This is like first thing they teach you in junior high is secure the ball. And I didn't really play much offense. I was a defensive guy, but we had a fullback pull a hammy, and they put me in his place. And I'm like, they really must take me today. And coach told me before I went on the field, okay, son, you do it, but if you drop that ball, if you fumble it, just keep running right out the other end of the end zone. I mean, it's not all right. He's not having a bad day. This is the issue with us. Fumbles, drop passes, people trying to run before they catch it. It's a disciplinary problem. And if I drop the ball like that, I'm riding the pine, right? I am. So, just pure discipline,
Had Mike fumbled this year before that? I'm asking because I don't know. I should know, but I don't.
Well, I mean, it's a memory thing. I don't think I don't recall him fumbling. But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
fumbled then.
I mean, Rod's right. Look, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, look, we can't carry over everything that's happened in previous years. We got to let this year play out. Well, it's played out. Like, even through 4 games, it's played out. In the last 2 weeks, it's played out. But it's not just the fumbles. It's the lack of alignment on defense. It's the bad angles. It's almost to the point where you can't count the number of missed tackles. It is the untimely penalties. It is just things to continue beating yourself. And look, I mean, this isn't lost on Pitman or any of the other coaches. They know it too. But at some point, it just gets to a point where you can't do it anymore. David and Cersei, good morning. Thanks for the breakfast fund, David.
Well, you're very welcome. This is the best entertainment in the state of Arkansas, and I believe someone should at least call in once a week and buy breakfast. My goodness. It's the best week. I mean, what could we do? We've got Bo Mattingly, Chuck Barrett, icons. Maybe one of these days we'll lose one of you. Maybe one of you will get a good job, and where are we going to be then?
What do you mean?
Here we'll be.
One of these days we'll make it, David. You're right.
Yeah. I thank the Lord for this rain. My food plots were about to burn up, so now maybe they'll come out of this. Hey, listen, I've been accused of overanalyzing everything, and
which life was that, David?
That's possibly accurate. For the life of me, I could not understand why Mr. Yurachek decided to give the state of the program speech that nobody wanted to hear. Not the current players, not the future recruits, not the fan base, even if it is true. Listen, if I'm at the grocery store and I see an old girlfriend from high school and she comes up and gives me a big hug, do I look at her and say, my goodness, you're still as pretty as you ever were? You could stand to lose 10 or 15 pounds, but, you're still just as pretty as you. No, you don't say that, even if it is the truth. You just don't. So my whole weekend, the Cowboys can't cover a pass. We saw what happened in the Razorback game. But two good things. I got to watch Dabo squirm again and make another speech after his game. And then the Fighting Bielemas go down at home. It was great. It was borderline erotic, guys. I'm telling you, it was great.
Hey,
have a good day.
Indiana won that game going away, 60-something.
63-10.
Oh, my God.
I watched a good bit of the first half.
What happened?
Well, they just ran up and down the field. Illinois was helpless. Indiana, to say they did what they wanted to do offensively doesn't accurately describe it. They just dominated.
To put it in perspective, who was it? Tennessee that played Kent State? I think that was a slightly tighter game.
Yeah.
Who played Kent State? The score in that game was
not an SEC team.
I saw where Kent State played somebody.
Yeah, they played. They played a ranked team. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was like, that's a Kent State type score.
Florida State 66, Kent State 10.
Yeah, so it was a similar score. You're like, what?
Well, I think, and look, I wondered too. Is Indiana really a college football power, or was last year just an aberration? Well, they're college football power. They're going to be in the playoff again. Well, it says that right now they've got a lot of work to do. Yeah. They're 53 points short of Indiana. That's what it says to me.
That's what I mean. So is Illinois as good as maybe they looked early in the year?
I'm glad I stayed away from that game in the locks, by the way.
Well, let's get to the locks later. Donnie's in Fayetteville. Hey, Donnie.
Hello, how are you this morning?
Well, we're okay.
I got three things. First of all, 6 points isn't enough against Notre Dame. Pittman's in the last three seasons, Pittman's 4-11 at home covering the spread. So if you want Notre Dame, bet it now, because that number is going up later in the week.
I would think so.
But in the last three seasons, they've lost the penalty battle 20 out of 29 times, and they've lost the turnover battle 20 out of 29 times. You can't win when you're turning the ball over all the time and you're committing more penalties than the other team all the time.
That's right.
But I think I was wondering maybe if it's just a leadership problem. I mean, we know who the leader of the basketball team is, and the baseball team, and all the other sports up there. Who's actually in charge up there? Is it Yurachek? Is it Petrino? Is it, Pitman? Like, if you don't have a leader, how do you win?
Well, Pittman's the leader of the football team. If you're around, you see that. He acts that way. I think that, everyone there respects that. That doesn't mean you're getting the results that you have to get. And, it's happening other places too. Dabo Swinney's won 2 national championships at Clemson, and you could ask the same question, like, what's going on there? It's just not. Sometimes it's just not working. We can nitpick it apart, and there's things to talk about, like you did, and we have talked about all day. I don't think it's a question of they don't have anybody in charge, but it's not getting done. The job is not getting done. And it's one thing to talk about, man, you're a fumble away from upsetting a ranked team on the road at night at their place. It's another thing to go play an American Athletic Conference team, be up 18 points, and look uninspired to win the game. I mean, the final play where they run for the first down was just sort of like, you're embarrassed and we're going to kick you between the legs in front of everybody, or we're going to pants you in front of everyone. Just humiliation.
You got to be able to stop the other team. I mean, that's and when people say that, I want to make sure I say this right. People say it's not a talent issue. Well, there are some spots on the field where it is a talent issue. And up front defensively, I think, might be one of them. It's not that these guys aren't good players. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I didn't think talent cost them this game.
Well, that's fair. You're right about that. You're right about that. But I do think there are areas where they are really, there are holes in the lineup, so to speak. And I thought Memphis did a very good job of exposing the holes in Arkansas's defense, and there are some there. Now, I also think Memphis did a very good job defensively in the second half. Part of it is you got to give them credit. They really, whatever they were doing in the second half, they got Arkansas behind the sticks. There were a couple of possessions consecutively where Arkansas faced 3rd and above 10. There are 3rd downs. Bart was going through this some during the break a while ago. There were a lot of 3rd and behind the sticks.
Every 3rd down in the second half was 3rd and long.
Right. So whatever they were doing early in the possessions, they were doing much differently than what they did in the first half. Arkansas led 28-10. They scored 21 points in the second quarter. When you score 21 points in a quarter, you're doing whatever you want to do. They scored 3 points the rest of the game. So whatever Memphis was doing defensively in the second half, you've got to tip your cap to them. Arkansas did not handle it as well as they could have.
I'd say should have.
Should have. Fair enough. But I do think there are some spots on the defensive side and maybe a position or two on the offensive side where talent is an issue. And all it takes is 1 or 2 spots to mess up the whole deal.
I just want to say this coming out of what Chuck was saying, and we talked about this some last week after the Ole Miss game. I know I talked about it at least. The defensive line has been an issue for the Razorbacks for several years now. Like this is not a new thing. This has been an issue that's been going on for several years. An inability to get to the opposing team's quarterback, an inability to create a pass rush, an inability to stop the opposing team's rushing attack. Like, we've seen it time and time again. The stats back this up. I could go through and read off all the stats from recent years or whatever. But I mean, even going back to when Barry Odom was the defensive coordinator, like, Barry did a great job of doing creative things to kind of mask that with the type of coverages he played, the type of schemes he played, but it was still an issue of being able to get to the quarterback. I can't tell you the last time Arkansas was able to get to the quarterback.
Break this down.
I was going to say, they gave up points when Barry was the coordinator, too. And I like Barry, but they gave up a lot of points then, too.
No, for sure.
Look, you can't miss tackles, man. Like we can talk about whatever we want. We're like right there, and we're shoulder tackling. We're not wrapping. It's like the mistakes and the lack of fundamental play are just so obvious. Like, we can talk about how much talent and all that, and that's just the hardest part to watch. That's why you lost the game. You were good enough to win that game. You're good enough to win that game going away. Ryan in Hot Springs, good morning.
Here's the thing, though. I've not heard not one person talk about it too, about how it just want to. Too many times during that game on Saturday, and this is what I'm most pissed about, is too many times I've seen the running back or whoever, or or receiver on a screen or whatever catch the ball, and instead of the defender going and hitting that player, he let him come to him and then attempt to wrap up and tackle him. I mean, like, they were getting chunk plays on our guys. It just letting them come to him. Like, what are you doing? Go meet him in the hole and minimize whatever yardage they're getting. That's what had me the most aggravated. And I feel like if we'd have done more of that, you probably would have seen a totally different game. And it just felt like Memphis was more on the attack and more willing to be on the attack than our defense was.
Yeah. We've touched on it, but like the last play of the game, or where they got the first down to seal it. I mean, that's an example of what you're talking about. Bart, you took Flight by Yingling to your golf tournament.
Was that popular?
It was quite popular. Yeah.
Did you put it in goodie bags? Did you have like 4 cases of beer in your cooler? And
no,
is that why you finished second or last?
It was there for everybody. It was there for the Calcutta, there for the after party.
You said they would have a Calcutta.
Yeah.
You said he planned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money did you lose this weekend?
Not much. We actually
How much did the Calcutta winner win?
We did not buy our own team. We knew from the get go that we might be in trouble. So
how much did the winner pocket?
It was well over $1,000.
I was going to say, was it $1,000?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Tastes like a Yingling, but it's only 95 calories. Brewed from America's oldest brewery. Raise a flight. Raise a glass. The next level. Flight by Yingling.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's over there fact-checking. Kind of ruined.
Just ruined the whole day for me. Has everything I've said on this show been fact-checked?
This would not have happened. This would not have happened.
Have you gone home and fact-checked everything I've said?
No.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's been busy this morning. He's running numbers over there. Our numbers, his numbers, golf numbers, football numbers. Just running numbers.
What's really happened is I've just further solidified my opinion that 11 a.m. games have got to go.
Yeah, well,
they've got to go.
What's the record? Oh, sorry.
Chevy at Fayetteville Situation Room. Go ahead. Tell us about the 11 a.m. games.
Yeah, Arkansas since 2020, 4-15 in games that kick off at 11 a.m.
Yeah. Can you find a time where they've got a winning record?
Well, I mean, every other time, 28-18.
Yeah, give us some of those good stats,
28-18 at every other time of the day.
Okay. Well, we can't play at 11.
I want to challenge you, Bart, today on this Memorial Monday about the Razorback program. I want to challenge you to find, a needle in the haystack. Find us the good stat.
I've been trying.
Find us the positive stat.
I've been
that in the
trying.
middle of all this,
everyone's quoting all these numbers, and it's like, well,
sadness.
We know that. Otherwise, they'd have been winning these games. Chuck.
But hey, I want to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I mean, listen to this. You can't win the game when you turn it over.
Wow.
Hey Chuck, you can't win when you beat yourself.
Well, those are quality revelations.
19-1 when winning the turnover battle, 4-20 when losing the turnover.
When they give these keys before the game.
But that's pretty much for everybody.
Yeah,
wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't turn it over.
Those keys.
The problem is
like the analyst gives the keys on TV. It's like, number one, you got to win the turnover battle.
Don't fumble. Don't throw interceptions.
Just
win the edge.
That's another thing. Like defensively, Arkansas, I don't know if they set the edge one time all day.
I don't think so.
I mean, Parker and Wiener. Parker, good morning. Oh, my stack's not working. Somebody else might have.
We've got line 2.
Okay. This phone system is
think
not my friend.
I think something's going on with you.
We got a gremlin.
You want to pull it up?
We've got Dylan in Little Rock on line 2.
Let's go, Dylan.
Bring it, Dylan.
Hey guys, how's it going today?
Well, we're hanging in there.
Well, I mean, we've just had a rough weekend all the way around. Edward had no fun at Silver Dollar City. Bart finished
y'all been
dead
taking it on the
last.
chins all year, haven't y'all?
In what way?
Just being called propagandists and all that,
Oh,
I've just been taking it all over the chin.
It's so hurtful.
But I'm a backpack them on that because this coaching staff has been awful all year, and the only bright spot has been the offensive side of the ball. Our team hasn't done anything to show any type of effort on defense or special teams, and this is coming back all onto our head coach and our defensive coordinator, and y'all been defending them since day one. So
it's
I'm
our
gonna hang
fault.
up and listen.
It's our fault.
Well, thank you.
It's always the radio guys'
Thank you.
fault.
Well, now, I don't know what his end game there was, but thank you. Who was that? Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think he enjoyed himself.
Look, that just comes with the territory.
I'll say it again. Like I think the difference between defending and being supportive until you get to a point where that's no longer an option, I'll take that. Like that's who I choose to be. The idea of going into the season projecting negativity, and then if you want to tell me that what you really expected was for Arkansas to be driving to take the lead at Ole Miss and fumble, and then you want to that's what you expected to happen. That's what you drew up. That's what you thought about this year. And then tell me that you had them going to Memphis and blowing an 18-point lead and then driving to go ahead and take the lead again. And for the second straight game, they're going to lose the game like that. If that's what you had, then by all means, please tell me.
I told you so.
But I don't think that's the way you had it.
Hey guys. You're having a great show today.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
So now, Chuck, this is the kind of thing that will be happening. And Brandon Marcello comes on our show, and he's a reputable reporter nationally for CBS Sports. And he's on a podcast over the weekend after the Arkansas lost. Yeah, host a podcast. But I don't know if it's his own podcast or if he was on someone else's for this. But here's what he said about what's happening behind the scenes now.
A year ago, I'll say this, there was a lot of reluctance about Bobby Petrino taking over as interim head coach if that opportunity came to be, if Sam Pittman was fired. I was told even at the time that Travis Williams, the defensive coordinator, would most likely be the interim coach. Fast forward to now, the weakness of that team is by far the defense. There's a lot more push for maybe Petrino should be the interim head coach. And I will tell you, from people I've spoken to, Bobby Petrino's been working them phones, baby. He's been talking a lot behind the scenes. He's positioning himself to take over the Arkansas football program, at least on an interim basis, if Sam Pittman's fired.
So that's one, we can call it a report. One reporter who has talked to people. I will just offer this perspective. There's always a lot of positioning and conversations happening. And then whomever's telling him that, I don't know who it is or what's going on, but when you are in this position, these are the kind of things that begin to come out.
Well, when you're in this spot, you're going to hear a lot of things, some of which are true and some of which are either not true or wishful thinking or partly true or just close enough to be wrong. I do think that there was a time where if a change had been made, Travis Williams would have been the interim head coach. I don't know if that would be the case now if a change was made. I find it very difficult to believe, not that someone didn't tell Brandon this, but I find it difficult to believe that Bobby Petrino's, as he said, working the phones right now, preparing to be the interim head coach. That would I don't believe that part.
Ben is back from Fayetteville. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Bo. Good morning, Chuck.
Hi, Ben.
Bo, we had a little bit of a disagreement last week whenever I brought up the 100 fumbles in 54 games.
What was the disagreement?
And it happened again.
What was the disagreement?
Well, you kind of didn't want to see my point of view, which I think 109 fumbles in 54
What was the
games
disagreement?
is pretty relevant.
What was
You're
the
cutting me off
disagreement?
again.
What was the disagreement? You said we had a disagreement. What was it?
I think you were very dismissive in the numbers.
That's not.
But the numbers don't lie. The statistics.
You said
don't
we
lie.
had a disagreement.
So dismissing the numbers, I think it's important. You didn't. That's where the disagreement, or that's what I thought was a bit of a disagreement, or a
No, what I said was all of the fumbles that have happened prior to this year don't necessarily reflect this year. And the one fumble that cost them the Ole Miss game doesn't mean that Sam Pittman's not coaching ball security or whatever. And then it happened again.
I never said he wasn't.
Well, I'm just telling you that was the point I made, that the 100 fumbles prior to that, this year has to stand on its own merit, and we'll judge this year based on those merits. And that's what we're doing today. I don't know if you just got on, but you can't have that happen.
I've been listening. Great show.
You can't have that happen. And by the way, I'm not narrowing this game down to the fumble at the end. I mean, there are so many other ways they beat themselves, and they've got an issue, and I think we all know where this stands. But I was just merely pointing out that the previous years don't all roll into this year until this year begins to play out.
Ben, I don't think you really feel this way. Hang on. Let me ask you this. I don't think you really feel this way, but it sounds like you're taking a lot of joy in being right. And it sounds like maybe you were pulling for Arkansas to make some of those mistakes. I'm not saying I think you feel that way. I'm saying that's what it sounds like.
I don't want it to sound like that, Chuck. Not at all. What I really don't like is that there's these players are paid, and I think Sam Pittman bears the brunt of a lot of the criticism when some of the criticism needs to be squarely placed on these employees of the Razorback football team. And I don't believe that that is fair to Sam Pittman. I don't believe it's fair to his staff. And I believe some of these players need to take ownership. And to say that the previous records, the previous fumbles, are not brought into the equation means that, you know, you may have a history of cheating on your wife, and suddenly your wife thinks that, you know, just cheating this time doesn't count. The culmination of statistics, records, and all those things do count. And those 109 previous fumbles, those one score losses do count. And there needs to be some accountability.
I
think maybe the optics in the question or the comment were taken a little out, but those do count.
Well,
all of that comes together.
I totally agree on that. My point was all off season, like projecting this season to be a disaster because of whatever's happened in the past. You got new players, you've got a new season, and you got to let this season play out. And through 4 games, it has already. Only 4 games in, it has. Because the difference in fumbling.
How amazing would
the difference in fumbling at
How
Ole
amazing
Miss?
would the Razorback base be right now if we were 4-0? How good would it feel to be 4-0
and that's the weird part, right? Is how close they are to being 4-0, and yet how far away they feel as a program.
I feel like now, if Sam gets inside of the 20-yard line, down by a point, and you're in field goal range, down by a point on second down, kick the damn field goal. Don't take a risk. Like, kick the damn field goal.
I'm going to tell you this. Here was my
odd, but why
fear.
not?
My fear in the Ole Miss game was they were going to score and Ole Miss was going to go down and kick a field goal to win it. My fear in the Memphis game was Arkansas was going to settle for a field goal and miss it. And I was like, don't settle for a field goal. Like, keep running the clock, keep running the ball, and score. Because I felt like they could score.
I don't like all this talk about Bobby Petrino suddenly be the interim coach, because I think that puts a wedge in something that we don't need. We've already got enough of a divide. I don't like the talk about Bobby's the coach.
But that's what they signed up for, you know? I mean, when you hire Petrino, you know that's what's coming with it if things end up going south for the team. You know, look, they've got a lot of things to figure out.
Do you think it would be fair for him to come out and say, do you think it would be good if he came out and said, like, hey, Sam's the head coach, I'm the offensive coordinator? Do you think that would bring some continuity back to the team?
He's not going to do that because the coordinators don't talk after the season begins. That's a mandate from the head coach. Well, that's a mandate from the head coach. I mean, the coordinators don't talk, so we're not going to hear from Petrino on any of that.
I just, having been around those guys, having been around Coach Petrino when he was the head coach and as the OC now, I find it difficult to believe that he's being anything other than an offensive coordinator right now. Now, there may be a time down the road where he assumes a different role, but
in terms of how he carries himself,
I have a very hard time believing that there's, you know, people would use the term interference or you know, working the foes. I just have a difficult time believing that.
Hey, there's trouble in life. We've seen it on some level this weekend. But when you encounter issues, you don't have to do it alone, especially when it's legal. Whether it's personal injury, struggling to get Social Security disability, maybe you're drowning in debt. Unfortunately, you can call a team that fights for Arkansans, and that's Bill Reynolds and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds. They know how to get results when it matters most. Car wrecks, denied disability claims, filing for bankruptcy. They've got your back. Don't be by yourself on this. Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com for a free consultation. That's another thing. You can get a free consultation just to find out where you stand and what they think about it. Cadell Reynolds, make the right call. It's 842. Bart, how are your locks?
Yeah, how'd it go this weekend?
We had one big miss, but the other 2 hit. So you know, a nice 2-1 week.
I thought you went 1-2.
No, I did not. I certainly
That's
did not.
coming off a 3-0
week. I certainly did not.
3-0, yeah. The miss was Utah. I guess Texas Tech's bought roster.
And they bought them a team.
They look good.
They bought them a team.
They
That's
are pretty
another
good.
thing we're going to have to acknowledge that Texas Tech they look legit.
They look pretty good.
It shows you NIL money matters.
I mean,
it
well,
does.
Well, that was kind of the litmus test, right?
But we
Texas Tech.
we hit Oklahoma, we hit Miami, so 2-1.
It is interesting.
Let's rock and roll.
A caller made a point earlier that instead of treating NIL like it's the devil, you need to look at it as though it's a life raft. And I will say that wherever this thing goes moving forward, the future of Razorback football, we do have to figure out as a athletic department and as a collective state. And when I say that, I don't mean just fans. I'm talking about whether it's the board, whether it's the governor, the chancellor, everybody involved with decisions as it relates to football. That has to be a priority if you want to have success at another level. And it's not the only thing. I mean, that doesn't take bad angles and missed tackles and fumble the football. That doesn't take, self-inflicted pre-snap penalties. That's all part of it too. But if you're thinking about the future and whenever Pitman is no longer the coach here, and if you're looking for a coach that's going to want to come here, they're going to be asking about all those things.
Well, they're not going to come if your NIL fund's not set up right.
Unless they're just getting a promotion and a paycheck.
Right.
But if you're trying to hire somebody that you want, those things are all going to be at play.
I mean, like, for example, when they hired Cal in basketball, don't think for a moment the money wasn't all worked out before there were any final
His
yeses
salary
given.
was just a part of it. That was done.
He's going to
It's
get
all
paid
the other
wherever.
stuff.
It's the stuff
Yes.
that gives you a chance to win. And draw an analogy to football. When Kiffin, when you were talking to Kiffin, and it was a roster question, in terms of Arkansas. Everyone's got their criteria, but it always boils down to, at the end, am I going to have a chance to win at the clip that's going to be required to keep the job? And basketball, they had it all worked out. Football, they couldn't get it worked out.
It's 8:45, Monday morning. Good morning. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's stunning to hear every 20 minutes a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. But we can help. Grant life-changing wishes with Waiters for Wishes and the Razorback men's basketball team. It's Tuesday, September 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. This private ticketed event lets you take photos, get autographs, challenge your favorite hog to a Pop-A-Shot, and bid on silent auction items, all benefiting Make-A-Wish Mid-South. Tables are limited and going fast, so reserve yours today at midsouth.wish.org.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We all in this room have opinions. Facts are secondary to a good argument.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, we're going to try to move quick here. Final segment of the Chuck and Bo Show on a Monday. Dennis in Bentonville, you're on. Go ahead.
Hey, appreciate the show. I listen to you guys every morning. But, Chuck made one of my points earlier, which was, when the basketball team and all that, with Calipari coming, we had all the NIL worked out.
Yep.
And we don't have that worked out right now. And that's, whether we like it or whether we don't, that's really the thing that's holding us back, or one of the things that's holding us back.
It's
when you think about it. But I got to tell you, it's not that I'm a Pitman fan or anybody else or anything else, but I look at where we've been in the past and where we are today. At least I'm in the game, and I feel like we've actually done a pretty good job as a result of that. The thing about with Petrino on the head coach thing is, I would actually think there's probably some people that have a little bit of money, maybe not the ones with a lot of money, and they're probably working the phones. It may not be Petrino working the phones, but it may be them actually working the phone to him. And that's unfortunate, because that actually causes, I think, a lot of discontent in the program itself.
Well, when you get to this point, that's where you are. It's just going to happen. Alex in Clarksville, thanks for the call, Dennis. Alex, go ahead.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Doing okay, Alex. What's on your mind?
I'm a Pitman guy, but I'm kind of like you are, Bo. I think it's probably inevitable now that it's going to happen. And watching the game Saturday, and if you watch the game after ours, OU and Auburn, it's pretty obvious the defense doesn't play hard, and like their hair's on fire. The effort's just not there. The last play summed it up. You had the 300-pound lineman. There was not another guy gang tackling. There was not another guy there. And all they want to do is gripe about the 300-pound lineman. Yeah. Where was everybody else?
It was wild. It was wild. I mean, to see the game end like that was just, it was hard to get your head around. Caleb and Mountain Home, go ahead. I don't know if mine's working.
I just wanted to go ahead. I just want to go ahead and kind of wrap things up. Say thanks for a great show today, y'all. I've been listening all morning. You know, I'm reminded that if this was the Paul Feinbaum show, y'all wouldn't say anything at all. You just let people get on, curse the coach out for 3 minutes straight, and then say on to our next caller. I'm glad that y'all are able to.
Thank you very much.
Y'all are actually able to interact.
Thank you very much for that. Great call. Thank you very much for that. Hey, thanks, Caleb. We look forward to seeing you when we get over to Mountain Home. We're going to have to reschedule tomorrow's show because of rain, so we won't be breaking Bart tomorrow, but we will be rescheduling. Let's try to get one more in. Ryan, good morning. Go ahead from Goshen.
Hey, guys. Just want to say real quick, Robert, the Friday before the Ole Miss game, I called in, and my daughter said, "Go Hogs," and y'all were real kind to her. And, man, that's the only thing she's talked about for about 2 weeks now. Every time we get in the car, she talks about the Chuck and Bo show. So really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, you guys are just, you know, all these fans calling in and act like y'all can do anything about it. Just big fans of you guys. Just kind of go off the back with the last guy says, like, y'all are fantastic. Y'all keep it up. I mean, y'all are doing great. And, of course, I said Friday or Saturday, I'll never watch another Razorback game again, but Saturday morning, 11 o'clock or 11 o'clock Saturday morning, I'll be turning on that Notre Dame game.
I know. We got a whole week to kind of get ready for that. What do you say about the family that listens to the Chuck and Bo show?
Family that listens to the Chuck and Bo show together stays together.
Yeah, that's it. We appreciate that, and we hope that works out for everyone
his daughter likes it.
involved. Hey, Walk-Ons is a great place to watch any game, including Monday Night Football tonight. We're going to come back and try to do it again tomorrow. We hope you have a good Monday from all of us at Chuck and Bo. I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting